Hi, I'm the Moss Man, and in today's video, we're going to be looking at some interesting looking planters, or some interesting looking pots that I found at the thrift store one day. Now these have been sitting kind of in my pile of plant stuff for a while now, and I've been trying to find a good time to use them. So we're going to do a little bit of root division. Going to cut some small chunks off of my Maidenhair Ferns. These are bottle top planters, so let's take a look. They look like this, and now I have to go through the very difficult task of emptying some bottles, which I have done beforehand. And you'll see that these pots, and these are pretty standard size openings on these bottles. Yeah, they don't really fit in. So what I'm gonna have to do is sand them down. Do this one, which is my test piece. Look at that, so much better. Step 1 is sand down all of these things. Step 2 is do some root division. Step 3 is plant them. And then step 4 is wait and see what happens. That's going to be the longest part of producing this video, is just waiting and making sure nothing rots, and let's get it started as soon as possible, right? So I'm just sanding down this bottle pot, like I said previously, and putting it in and out of the bottle a few times to make sure I have it down to the right size. It gets full of dust, so I knock it off, but yeah, and then I repeat the process for the other 3. Next, I'm going to take a small coffee plant out of this pot. Now, the way a lot of nurseries will sell you plants is they'll stick a whole bunch of plants together to make the plant look more full, so it can often be really easy to just take one out and grow it elsewhere, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Now this next process did not go smoothly at all. It actually went pretty badly. Well, let's start with the fact that the Maidenhair Fern has outgrown its pot quite significantly. And this is one of the reasons that I like using a plastic pot, or sometimes called a grower's pot, inside of a decorative pot. Because if a plant is so bad that it's not coming out of the pot, I can just cut the plastic one away, and bada boom, bada bing, it's ready to transfer into a larger one. This was quite a struggle to get it out, and I kind of dug it out a little bit, but eventually it got out. Now the reason this went not well is because the root ball is so tight. Like I said, it's outgrown its pot. The roots being so tight makes it hard to identify where to separate bits off of it, and unlike the coffee plant, this isn't a collection of plants, it's just one. Finally, I'm putting everything together, so the pots are cleaned, and I found that using this small mesh type stuff, I poked a little hole in the center, could get the roots through, and it kept all the dirt and stuff from falling directly through the center. So that's that. So it's been a bit since I last was recording this video. It's been at least a couple months, probably more than that. And I was originally hoping to show like a steady progression, show everything growing, how cool the roots are. Obviously, that hasn't happened. This is all that's left. I'll do a close-up for this little project, or experiment. So this next part of the video is explaining why I think that is, and explain what it is about this specific setup that leads to it being less effective than other pot methods. Now, getting into why these didn't or weren't successful, the Maidenhair Ferns were probably not successful because the root system sucked, and I did a pretty bad job on separating them. But the other reasons that this bottle pot is not super useful, or at least not very convenient, at least for the size of plants that I stuck in there, is that the bottle to the bottom of the bottle pot, that section there is the thinnest part of the bottle, which means that the water level goes down very quickly. So if you're actually taking care of it, you're going to be watering it a lot, and a lot of that water goes up to just like the pot itself, because that's how it works, which means it grows mold like crazy. Yeah, you have to be constantly refilling it. What I even started doing was watering the actual soil inside the pot and then filling up the bottle with water, which kind of defeats the purpose of having the bottle in the first place. It's not my favorite setup. If I was gonna do something like this again, I'd probably just get a plant with better roots to start with, and then stick it directly into the bottle. No pot required. Alright, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Thank you to everyone who provided music for this video. Their names will be in the description. And I will see you in the next one.